Hello, listeners. Welcome to another round of an interview where we are going to meet an awesome author. And let me introduce you all to him. And he is a wonderful soul. More than a human, I see him as a soul. Though I work with a lot of authors, I don't call everyone as a soul because I'm not able to touch. But somehow this author has touched me as a soul. His name is Guruvayurappa, and he's a winspiration coach. It's very interesting niche. You should go and read more about being winspiration coach. He's not only author of the book we are taking interview, but he's written multiple books. He's the author of the book called The Saw Method. He's the author of a book called The Vibrant Life. He's an entrepreneur and he's a chief founder of Yagna, the Winspiration University, a keynote speaker, biofeedback trainer, NLP practitioner, LOA expert, Himalayan tracker, Nadi Pariksha, Chakra meditation practitioner, and enabler. He works majorly, helps people age 25 to 45 and between 30 to 40 in the middle age crisis hit. He helps people to achieve peak performance and wellness, accelerate the success, surpass the limits. It's very important. We all live in limits. He helps us surpass that limit, rediscover infinite inner power. And he works not only on body, he works on mind and soul too. His mission is to empower 1 billion human beings globally to accelerate success, achieve peak performance, and surpass limits by 2025. So let's welcome Guru. I call him Guru with love. So let's all welcome Guru. And today we are interviewing him for his book called Version 2.0, New You, Surpass Your Limits and Rediscover Infinite Inner Power. Guru, when we go to interview, I remember you telling me that every word in this book came through, purely cosmic guidance. Can you touch upon a little bit how you feel that, this book came through the supernatural powers to you?
Sure, Kailash, I will do that. And before that, first of all, thank you for introducing me. I feel so humbled, and thank you for calling me as a soul and someone who has touched you. So that really makes me feel so good about that. And in fact, before I just talk about that, I just wanted to give you some information on when we discussed the first time about the book. So it was just initially it was supposed to be a 45-minute call, but I remember it went for more than almost a year, 1.5 hours to 2 hours.
2 hours,
So
I remember that.
That's how we suddenly got gelled when we started talking. So coming to your question, so it is purely a cosmic guidance. I would say this in front of anyone because my mentor Guru Murli, he said, "Why don't you write your second book?" I said, "Murli, I've written my first book. I think I've done all that I have known so far. So I don't know. My mind is, I still don't know whether I can write it. I don't know whether I have it in me." So he said, "Give it a try." So this happened before our tilt got postponed. So I was thinking about that, and suddenly I said, "Okay, let me give it a try." And I've been thinking, nothing happened. Sometimes all these ideas come to you in unexpected moments, right? So my journey of this book started when I was traveling from Chennai to Bangalore, and I was traveling with a double-decker train. And my luck is so beautiful that I got stuck in between two big gentlemen. So I was sitting like this in a double-decker train, and I was in the middle seat, and I was like, why am I here right now? What did I do to actually have this kind of experience? So that's what I started thinking. Then I realized, okay, this is the time where I need to, this is where the law of gratitude actually works. So I said, okay, fine. I have this seat. There is something that I'm supposed to do. That is the only reason I'm here, in this particular seat. Then I thought, what should I do? I started, thinking of so many things, and suddenly it hit me. Okay, let me think about the book. So I jot down. We have this notes in. There is an app called Notes, right? So I started putting down all the things that came to my mind while I was stuck in between these people. So it is metaphorically, if you think about when you're stuffed between so many issues, something good comes out of it. So that's what actually happened. So I close to jotted down 36 to 40 points. And the previous week I said, I don't have anything in my mind. And from that, it started. So I got the 36 points. And then I realized there's going to be too much. So I had to make it short. And finally, I ended up with what we have in the book. And when I started writing, I just declared to the universe that I'm going to write this book to help that one person who is exactly like me. When I was looking for some desperate help, there were people who appeared and who helped me. But then I had to do a lot of homework from my end. So I wanted to help someone like me just by giving you directly all the inputs. Yes, you need to put in your work, but then all the inputs that from my end I'll be able to give from the basics, because I'm a basics guy. Give me the basics, I can build upon it. So that's how the journey started, and all the backstories
Awesome.
after that.
Yeah, awesome. So this is to listeners right now. I know if you're listening live or you're listening on recording, how many of you could actually feel what I said when I was introducing Guru? How many of you could see a beautiful soul when he was talking? If you feel what I feel, please write in the chat box, comment box, and say, I feel it. Okay, so let's move on. Guru, I want to know, where does inspiration for first book comes in? I know this is your third book, but when you wrote your first one, and first one sometimes is difficult. I don't know, different experience, but I want to know, where does this thought first time erupts in your mind that I should be writing a book? What was the inspiration behind that?
So my first book is the song method. I have to give a backstory for that again. I was into too much of heavy depression, and I was every day when I woke up, I just wanted to make sure the day has to end, and whether the day ends or I end myself, my life. So that's the thought I usually wake up during those days. And one fine day, what happened? Before that, I want to ask the audience, how many of you know Rajnikant? If you know Rajnikant, please mention in the chat box Talaiva. He is really a Talaiva for me. Because I have written this story in the first book as well. So I was listening to it was exactly during the December week, December second week, first week to second week, wherein his birthday falls on 12th of December. I was listening to this music channel where they had put back-to-back songs, and two different songs and from two different movies. And exactly the second stanzas of those songs made a huge impact on me. So I have written about that in my first book, but then I don't want to take too much time and explain those things. So from there, I realized all the power is only within us. You don't have to look outside. If you start looking inside, you'll get all the answers. And when you start developing yourself, when you start raising your own vibrations to a bigger extent, the world around you changes. So this I found out. And many people that I met, they all suggested to find who you are. That's the first question, the first statement they say. Find out who you are. And I tried it. It was total waste. I could not find who I am because I did not know what I was. First of all, there are two parts. Once you know what you are, then you can figure out who you are. So the what I worked on, found out, then I realized who I am really. So once I have done that, it was like an epiphanic moment. I said, okay, now I found out I need to help people around me. People who are looking for the same thing that I have been looking so far. And I wanted to do something about it. I didn't know what to do. So then when I spoke to all the mentors, they said, write a book. Awesome. That was the first point of it. Then it took almost at least 3 years for me to write everything down, get the book published. 3 to 4 years almost. So that's how it started.
Okay. And now I want to move a little bit from the book to Winspiration Coach because it's a very unique and powerful name. Would you like to throw some light on how should we, understand the word Winspiration from your perspective?
Inspiration is the inspiration to win. That's inspiration, simply put. Because everybody is
Wow.
looking for success. Everybody wants to win. And there are people who always go for the win. Okay. But the problem here is sometimes they work or play or do anything just for the sake of it. They, we have seen teams playing not to lose rather than going for the win. A little more effort could actually make that match turn in favor of the team that is losing. But they fail to do it just because they don't have it in them. So that's where I thought, okay, we should always go for the win. And not just win from our end. When we are doing something, it should be a win-win for me and for the other person whom I am working with. So that's
Awesome.
where I said inspiration.
Yeah. So what I can take it up from here, audience, listeners, is don't live to survive, live to win. And if you need inspiration to win, please contact Guru. He's available on all the channels. You can find him on LinkedIn, you can find him on Facebook, you can find him on Instagram, and reach him. He can definitely give you inspiration to win your life. Guru, I want to know when you're writing a book, because when I also wrote my book, and a lot of authors have shared the same feedback, that there is certain aha moments in the process of writing. So would you like to share, do you remember some special moments when you were writing the book, aha moment of your life?
Lots I can actually share.
Yeah, so any one of it, one or two you want to share?
Sure. The first aha moment itself is writing the book. Okay, the moment you start writing, suddenly you will see a huge flow coming. Okay, you don't know whether it is right or not, but you keep writing about it. That itself is aha. The second aha moment, which I specifically wanted to share, is because if we want to write something in a book, it is like giving a written acknowledgement to the entire universe, not just the world alone, the entire universe, that you are like this. So which means unless or otherwise you have tried it, followed it, found out the good, bad, ugly, and then improvised on that, you cannot write it. So if you have written that, which means you should have done that, or else you should not write it. That was the, as you said, the epiphanic moment that actually happened to me there, that aha moment. Because I tried writing something, then I felt it was not exactly resonating with what I was at that time. So unless you have changed, you cannot tell other person to change. And specifically for coaches like us, if you have tried it, tested it, you know if it is working, only then please share.
True.
That's the aha moment I had.
Wow. And how was your feeling when you first time saw your book in your hand, physical book in your hand? How was the feeling?
I will ask you this question. How did you feel when you held your baby?
Wow. Yeah, I remember the same thing because when I have a son. When first time doctor came out and gave me, though I was a little scared but very happy. And I remember the same feeling happening to me when I saw my book in my hand.
Exactly.
It's very powerful. It's very powerful. And if you are writing a book, thinking of writing, please go ahead and do it because it's all worth putting that effort in your life. So I want to go little towards the perception game. We all know that book changes the way world looks at you. I say that reality is not reality, perception is reality. And fortunately, we know how to create perceptions. And writing a book, authoring a book, publishing a book is creating that perception. So do you want to share some highlights before you became an author and after you became an author? Do you want to share some experience, how people started looking at you differently?
Yeah, there is a huge difference, Kailash. Before I was an author, people were like, okay, one other film. But now, when I say I am an author, the entire body language of the other person whom I am talking changes, totally changes. I've just recently I saw this in one of the events. I was there for an award event on last Sunday. So my book was given as the memento for all the chief guests.
Wow.
So I met this wonderful lady. She was doing a lot of social service. So she just looked at the backside, and there was a photo of mine. I was just standing next to her. Said, "Yeah, that's." She just looked at me like that. I said, "Yeah, that's." She was like, "Oh, you wrote this book?" Yes, I did. So the moment somebody sees you as an author, the whole image that they have developed about you, it's changing. It totally changes.
Wow. Author is authority. So
Yes.
people look at you as an authority, and that's where, it's like very important people. One thing I noticed, Guru, when I watch Netflix documentaries, specifically, I really love watching real life stuff. And I've seen a lot of places they will bring in experts where the name is written and under that author or best-selling author is written. They don't say what is his education, what is background. So just being called as an author is a very, very respected and trustable position. Now, I want to go back to a book. I really love your subtitle of the book. Though version 2.0 New You is very clear, but I really love your subtitle, which says Surpass Your Limits and Rediscover Infinite Inner Power. So would you like to, take us little journey on, what is surpassing the limits and rediscovering? It's very powerful word, rediscover infinite inner power. So
Sure, Kailash. That's where I rediscovered myself, first of all. So let me put it very simply. We are all energy beings. That's the basic view of the world has actually come to understand right now, because there is a shift in focus. So we are now shifting toward, there is a cosmic shift. That's what I would actually call. Which means we have all understood that we are energy beings. But whether that energy is potential or kinetic, that's where the difference happens actually. I can have all the energy in the world, but if I'm not doing anything useful with that energy, it's a waste. Yeah. So this entire life was wasted. So that's where you rediscover yourself, that inner power. When I say energy, it's just not the energy to move around. Energy to take you to the next level, from where you are to where you actually should be. So that includes a lot of things. We have something, the chakras. There are the chakras, there is something called the Kundalini Shakti. And there are different channels in our body. There are around 72,000 nadis that are there inside the body. And we can actually find out what a person is thinking just by looking at their nadi.
Wow.
The past, the present, and the future. Everything can be read. And that's what many people, they say, everything is in your hands. When I say hand, I mean, hand is just a metaphorical way of saying, because when you look at the nadi, you just hold this part of the hand. So here is where there is a perineal artery just next to that. So you put your 3 fingers and touch that. It tells you the entire history.
Wow.
Entire history of a particular human being. So which means we can get to know what problems they have been facing on a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual level as well. So
powerful.
So that if you can do, you will be able to know about yourself. And then it's about surpassing your limits. This is not your limit. You move beyond that. So it's like putting a chain around an elephant leg and tying it to a stool, plastic stool. That's how we are right now.
Yes.
We just need to break free from that chains. That's what is called surpassing your limits.
Wow. It's very enlightening the way you explained it, and it's very powerful. Now, let me move to a different direction for our discussion. A lot of people write books and sometimes it is difficult to find a publisher. Let me put a right word. So sometimes it is very difficult to find a right publisher. So how did you find the right publisher for your book?
Okay. My publisher was Wings Publications, and when I had a discussion with you. So that 2 hours discussion. So I had spoken to multiple other publishers as well. But that connect, it was not necessary for you to actually take me through what I can do with my book. Okay. You could have just said, yeah, we can publish. You bring it to us, we will do all the checks, and yeah, it's gone, we're done. It would have just been a matter of 10 to 15 minutes gone. But you took that extra step. We spoke for, I said, 2 hours.
2 hours, yes.
No publisher would sit with the potential client for 2 hours and discuss in detail about the plans after you publish the book. Right?
Yeah, wonderful.
So that made the difference, and that's when I decided, okay, my publishing house is going to Wings Publishers. I thank you for that call, Kailash. And we have been having an amazing journey so far.
Yeah, I personally believe that authors in our life as a Wings publication are not for one book. They may write one book only, but it's not for one book. The book is just a starting to a relationship. And this relationship will last till the breath is on. That's the kind of commitment we bring in from Wings. So everything is special. So I want to just dig a little deeper on the same question. I want you to, tell us what best top 2 or 3 things you liked about when you were working with Wings publication as per an experience. And you have done 3 books. And so you have a very good comparative discussions with multiple publishers. So what 2-3 things would you like to highlight on in the process?
First thing is a regular follow-up. We set a date, and if I'm going to miss a date, so you keep coming back to us and asking whether this is done. You need any help, you need any support. So that itself is actually giving us, we are on a deadline. Rather than the publisher being on a deadline, we are on a deadline. Now we know that, okay, it has to be done. So we put on extra efforts. And second thing is the after publishing support. So that was really, I felt really good about it. You provided all the branding for me, and I still have the the standee. So I take it to wherever I go and put it, and that's something. It feels so personal, and the quality of it. The quality actually matters. You could have given me something, I paid you the money, chalega, kuch bhi chalega, but then it didn't happen that way. I still feel the quality of it. So all these things matter to me, because just bringing out a book, anybody can do these days. But what you do with the book and how you feel once the book is published, and how you have that the relationship with the publisher, that's more important. That's where I felt the difference with Wings publication and with you all working with the entire team of you.
Thank you. So listeners, I want to tell you another interesting thing. The Guru will not tell you, but his book hit the #1 best-selling slot after a few days of his launch. It's a wonderful book. I want you to go to Amazon and type his book's name, which is version 2.0 New You, and you see a red maroon cover. Okay. When you look at the cover, you will feel a lot about your book if you are elevated soul. And if you don't connect, then I can only say that you're not elevated yet. The time for you to read this book has not come, because vibrations, let me give you an example what I'm trying to say. So let's say I want to listen to music and when I tune in FM, every channel is giving me a different music. I love 104.2, which is in Pune, and that's a romantic music. So if you are not in for romantic music, you will never like 104.2. Even if you tune it, you'll go back to someone else. That's where high vibrating books are. Specifically, these books are high vibrating because author, when he's writing, putting part of his soul to the book. And that's why the authors are always alive. Humans can die, books can never die. And the part of the soul is always present on the earth. So I want to go to Amazon, type his name or his book's name, and see the cover. If you connect with the cover, go and buy this book. It will change your life. It will start a new journey for you. So there's no harm going and seeing the cover. If connects, go and buy this. But I can guarantee that it will start a new journey in your life. It's such a powerful book. I can even go ahead and say that even if you don't read, keep it with you and it will still change your life. Now, how many people will, agree to that, oh, Kailash, if I don't read a book, can it still change my life? Yes, because in chakras and energy world, everything emits energy. Whether it's stone, yeah, stones emit energy. We are all, ratnas and crystals on hands and necks and all those things. They emit energy. Though humans emit energy as well as books emit energy. Some books are so powerful and energetically that you keep it in the house near you, it change your life. Same way this book is. So go ahead and buy your copy of your book. One more question to you, Guru. You've been, a senior author now. You've written 3 books. So would you like to give some advice to novice author who are writing yet, but thinking of publishing their first book? Some advice you want to give so they finish and, become a published author?
Sure. I would love to do that. No, I would love to see my people writing a lot of books, becoming a what you call author group, author community. So I'm ready to help anyone who is in need of it. So first and foremost thing. Sorry, yeah, you were asking.
No, I was saying, do you want to give 2-3 tips which they can follow and make the book happen faster?
Yes, sure. First and foremost thing, keep writing. Whatever comes to your mind, just write it down. You don't have to think whether it is going to make some sense or not. Don't think about it. If something has originated in your mind, it means it has to go into the paper or the Word document or whichever way you want it, whichever way you feel comfortable. So that way, you will never know which point is going to help someone else. Because I made that mistake of stopping some thoughts. But later I realized I should not do that because you should not stop your thoughts when it comes to writing your book. Every point is important. Second thing, when you have some doubts, or when I have been through a writer's block. When I was writing my first book, I got totally stuck in between. The writer's block is a part of the process. So don't get demotivated by that. When you get stuck, talk to your mentor or talk to people, read books, watch relevant videos of that particular subject that you're writing. You will get some idea, some inspiration to write. Third thing, when you write the book, think you are writing to one person exactly like you. Because you would have thought in school, let's say, for example, let's go to the school days. You would have thought, okay, if this teacher teaches me like this, I would have understood more. This is a thought that everybody has come across and still they have. If my maths teacher would have taught me this particular concept in this way, I would have understood. If my physics teacher would have taught me this particular concept in this way, I would have understood. So imagine that you are that teacher who is trying to teach someone exactly like you. Write it that same way. That's the whole idea about it. That's the whole secret to this. When you do that, everything will come to you the right way. That's it.
Awesome.
These 3 things.
Awesome. We have a common mentor called Guru Muli. He puts in the right words. He says the process of book writing is like a mental vomiting. Vomit everything in your mind, thoughts, just put it on the paper. So it looks nasty when I say it, but it's a right thing to do it. So let's move on to one more question. You touched upon a very important point, Guru, which I want you to elaborate a little bit. What is the role of book coach or a mentor in life? Because a lot of people say, I'm going to write a book, what someone else can do. So would you like to put some light on when you said talk to your mentor or a book coach? So how these people can really help you to finish the book?
So this person called a mentor, what they do is they guide you. Okay, when you are confused, when you are stuck, when you don't know what to do, they will open up different realms. Okay, they will show you what will happen if you take each of those realms. But they will not take the decision for you. They'll help you to figure out. They want you to travel in that path. They'll tell you the good, bad, ugly, and everything about each and every path that you might want to take. But they leave the decision to you. If you are going or deviating from a particular path, they will exactly know that you are deviating. And that is the reason you often have to keep a connect with your mentor and give them the updates so they'll course correct you. So the main role of the mentor is to take you from A to B. The A to B can be any path, but they will take you there.
Awesome.
And you should put your work also. Just because they have shown the path doesn't mean that they will push you there. You'll have to walk that path, walk or run, jump, crawl, do whatever. But you will be there eventually. Yes, it will take some time, but eventually you will be there and they will ensure that you are there. That's their role.
Awesome. What I also got it is what I also learned in my life is having mentor is very important in life, because it has been said that mentor has done the same task and maybe failed so many times, those even times you're not even tried, and he passed it. So I think the right mentor can be identified with three things. One is the right mentor should have been there where you are today. He was confused one day. He didn't know what to do. So if you know that he was one day there where you are today, one of the quality of the mentor. Second is he has reached where you want to go. So from A, he was A one day, you are in A today. He reached B, where you want to go, he is already there. That's the second quality of being someone to be a mentor. Third is he should have a lot of love for giving and helping people. When you three things combine in any person can become your mentor. So go find a mentor. It'll, make your life and journey very fast.
Kailash, one point which I wanted to add. So we don't have to necessarily find a mentor,
Yeah.
There is a secret to it. When you are ready, the right teacher will automatically appear in front of you. You don't even have to do that. See, that's the beauty of having a mentor or a teacher in your life. When you are ready, they'll automatically appear in front of you. That's how Murli came into my life.
Okay.
And the other mentors that I have had.
So it said, when you are ready, the Guru arrives. That's what will happen. Now, Guru, I want you to tell me a little bit about your profession. Because I want listeners to know that how and what you do in terms of coaching. So who it is for, what you do. And second question is, how can they reach you in case they want your help? So I want you to answer both in the, methodical way. First one first, yeah.
So I have different levels of coaching. I have a free email course. I wouldn't call it free. I would want to actually put it as a gift or a compliment for people who are registering for the email. Why? Because I have been through a lot in the last 17 or 18 years of my professional life. And before that also I've been through a lot of things. So like I'm 38 now. So the last, let's just leave the kids part. Let's say 8 years we leave it off. So 30 years of my life, I have made so many mistakes. I've learned so many things. And I've tried, failed, got up, dusted myself. And now I'm in a position where I know that if you do this, this is going to happen. If you don't do this, this is going to happen. So I have that clarity in my life right now.
One request I have, Guru, for the listeners, I'm asking on behalf of you, can you give some information how we all the listeners can register to this email course?
Sure, I can share my the link for it. Can I share it in the chat with you?
Yeah, you can share with chat, yes.
Okay, just 1 second.
And it will be available in the comment box to all of you. You can go to comment box, click on the link and register to this email course and uplift your life.
So I shared it with you in chat. So this, one email from me comes to you every day at 7 a.m. in the morning. On dot, it'll between 7 to 7:15, let's say that. But 7 a.m. is what I intent to send. So due to the network issues, it could reach, but 7 a.m. So 7 a.m. every day, you will receive one email from me with some action points. And when you register for this email course, you will receive a confirmation email. Only if you confirm to that email, you will be getting the next set of emails. And once you confirm, you will get in your first email after that, you will get the link for downloading my second book, The Vibrant Life. It's only available as a compliment to everybody who is registering. It's free download. I know I want to give things so that the more you give, the more you get. That's my policy. So that is one. So once they are comfortable with the email, and I have some courses, some other free courses which I am revamping. I used to have a WhatsApp course. I used to have a recorded course. Now I'm just in the process of revamping. So there is a negativity course, and then you have there is one more course which is going to help you to rediscover yourself. And there are courses where I talk about self-love, self-care, and step by step. And finally, the SAW method course is there. And then you have the version 2.0. Because it's all, when you come to the version 2.0, it is going to be totally different experience. Provided you are able to finish all these things. If you want to directly come, yes, I can. However, I still have to teach you all the things that I've shared in the previous parts. And I am available on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and my phone number, I can share it with you. People can call, and I can also share my Calendly link if you want to have a discovery session. I give a 30 minutes free discovery session, so they can register and we can have it.
Guru, do you have a Linktree created for all those links?
Yes, I do have a Linktree.
So why don't you share Linktree, because Linktree will have all the links, all the courses, and all the Calendly link.
Yes.
And which is the most favorite platform for you, where you respond faster? Instagram?
Which one? Instagram and WhatsApp.
So Instagram. So WhatsApp is a little personal. If you have a number, yes, you can go. What I want you to do, go and search Guru on Instagram. If you need his help, go and send him a direct message, DM. Send him a message, and he will surely reply and help you, whatever situation you are in, whatever problem you are in, whatever barrier you want to break from your mind, wherever you want to go. He is the right person. He'll take you there. So please reach him for all the information. I've also put in the link for Linktree, where you can find all of his links. And all the courses, Calendly link, all are available. Please go ahead and take action and make Guru part of your life. Guru, I have one last question from my side to you. Is I really feel that not only in book writing journey, but there are a lot of people in our life, other than book writing, who've been part of our life to make our life beautiful. So I want on screen, on recording, which will be always available, to give gratitude to all those people. I know you give these people gratitude every day, but on screen, I want you to give gratitude to all of them and just say a few names who really impacted your life.
Sure. Kailash, gratitude is what I always believe in. And in every place, if I get a chance to talk about gratitude, I always quote Dr. John D. Martinez. He says, whatever you think about and thank about, you bring about. So the more you thank about something, the more you bring about that. So there are a lot of people in my life whom I'm always grateful for. Some of them, the first and foremost thing would be obviously my parents, and then my guru. When I say the guru, he's the spiritual guru for me. He has uplifted me from where I was to where I am right now. So I owe a lot of gratitude to him. His name is called Harihar. So he is my spiritual guru. And then our guru, no doubt, he used to be my friend, philosopher, and guide. From there, he has become a mentor, coach, and guru. So that's the relationship we have grown into. And then obviously my family, my wife, my kids, my sister, my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, everybody, and specifically my friends, they've been a lot of support. I cannot just stop with one or two. The list is so huge.
Yeah.
But these people are predominantly my pillars of support every time. And I can share the list in another, probably I will talk about them in a podcast rather. I've been, I said, right, I'm revamping everything. So I'm going into season 2 of everything now.
Awesome. So gratitude is very important, and let's give gratitude to all of the listeners, Guru, who've been listening to us carefully, taking action. So a lot of gratitude to listeners. You are listening to both of us. Definitely a lot of gratitude to Guru. He got time out of his busy schedule speaking to us. So thank you, Guru, for speaking to us. And thank you, Wings Publication. Because of that, we became friends. And we started as a book, we became friends. So thank you, Wings Publication. A lot of gratitude to Wings Publication to bring in a lot of elevated souls, powerful people to my life. And in the form of interview, I'm sharing these elevated and powerful people with the world. And thank you, everyone. I want to just last point, I want to say that Wings Publication is here to change lives. Wings Publication is here not only to create authors, but create lifelong relationships. If you're writing your book, you want to publish your book, and you are looking to a right publisher. If you're looking to publish, mark my word, I'm saying right publisher. Then please contact us, and we will be able to definitely impact your life and impact of your readers' life too. So thank you, Guru, for joining us, and we'll definitely catch up again on some other podcast, and we'll share a lot of other knowledge. We have a lot of common topics to discuss on.
Sure, Tejas. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share about my book, people. And I thank all the listeners who have joined us. And I would suggest that if you are having the thought of writing a book, or if you've already written a book, you are looking for a publisher, Wings Publication is the right team. And I would also request that you book a session with Kailash. So when I told you we had 2 hours session, we had so many eye-opening moments. So I would suggest please book a session with Kailash. He is there to help you, and the Wings team is amazing team. They will help you do your work properly and even follow up for you, and the quality is very good. Please go ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Guru, for kind words. And see you again soon. And we will talk again. All listeners, thank you very much for listening to us, and see you again in the next round of interview. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.